Welcome to the second International Construction Law Conference hosted by the Centre for Construction at the King's College London in collaboration with the Academy of Experts. I'm James Pickavance. I am a partner and head of construction at Jones Day and a visiting fellow and lecturer at King's College London and chair for this conference. Many thanks for joining us, both to the delegates attending here in person and to all of you joining online. At last count, we had an incredible 2,100 delegates joining from 94 countries, which to me is a testament to the technology at the Centre for Construction and the incredibly high calibre of speakers that we have for you today. Thank you all for supporting us and helping us build on the success of last year's conference. Let us start with a formal introduction to the conference to be given by Professor Renato Nazzini. Renato is Professor of Law at King's College London and Director of Research at the Centre of Construction Law and Dispute Resolution. An experienced arbitrator and counsel in international arbitration, he has a wide industry knowledge in the construction, oil and gas, infrastructure, IT and digital sectors. A duly qualified English solicitor and Italian advocate, he understands and navigates the different approaches across common and civil law jurisdictions and is able to resolve effectively and pragmatically complex, substantive and procedural problems. In his academic capacity, Renato has published 6 books, and I know from personal experience it's difficult enough to publish one, let alone 6, and more than 100 articles and book chapters, and is general co-editor or member of the editorial board of 4 leading international journals. He has been visiting professor at the University of Turin, the University of Zurich, and FGV of Sao Paulo, Brazil, as well as senior research fellow at the British Institute of International and Comparative Law, and a professor of international arbitration at the University of Southampton. He holds 2 PhDs, one from the University of London and the other from the University of Milan. Quite the resume. Professor, over to you.
Thank you very much, James. Really very kind and long introduction. I mean, the only reason I'm here is because I'm the director of the Centre of Construction Law and Dispute Resolution, a role which I took up in January. And in that capacity, I'd like to extend my warmest welcome to all of you, those who have been brave enough to join us in person here on our campus on the Strand, on the Old Ditch, actually, in Bush House, just next door to the Strand campus, and of course the very many of you joining us online from so many different countries, waking up very early in the morning or staying up very late at night to be with us today. And especially I would like to thank all our students or alumni. I can see some here in the audience, and I know many more are joining us online to be with us today. This is, as James said, the second conference on International Construction Law Conference that we co-host together with the Academy of Experts. Last year it was entirely online, a huge success. This year we are trying the hybrid model, and we hope next year to be fully in person, welcoming many more delegates here in London. This is very typical of the work the Centre does and has always done since its foundation, its establishment 34 years ago. Interdisciplinary, truly global research and education in the field of construction law, widely construed, if I may say so, and widely understood. Just by way of example, next month on the 14th of October, we are co-hosting another conference with the Association of Consultant Architects to discuss and launch an independent review carried out by King's of construction frameworks led by Professor Mosi, constructing the gold standard which the UK government will launch on Thursday. And there are many more events of this type, as many of you know. We also, as James pointed out, publish research, especially in dispute resolution, international arbitration, and so on. As we speak, a few thousand copies of dispute resolution in construction, theory and practice around the world are being printed. A collective effort by so many colleagues, visiting staff, and leading practitioners, led by the center, and coming together to share their knowledge as to the state of play. But also, I think this book is interesting because it looks at the future. It builds upon a book which we published a couple of years ago on transnational construction arbitration, and I could go on, but of course I stop here, because I just want to say just two words about our MSc. Many of you are aware of. Every year we welcome 60 students from around the world. We could take 10 times more given the number of applications and the caliber of applications that we receive, but we limit this number, and we look forward this year to a course which will be pretty much in this format. So whereas last year we were forced to have the course entirely online, this year we will cater for students who cannot easily travel to the UK, and for students who can do so or are based in the UK and want to attend in person. It was a logistical challenge, but we'll start the course in a couple of weeks' time in this hybrid format, probably even better than this, because students online will be able to interact with those in the audience and so on. We are also launching this week our first King's Fedex summer school, which we had to postpone by 1 year, which is an important starting point, I think, of what is going to be a long-standing collaboration between Fedex and the Center of Construction Law, and I am very pleased with that. I mean, of course, our involvement with Fedex doesn't start today, but it's the first time that it's formalized in a memorandum of understanding that I signed a few days ago, extending it, and we will welcome again about 30 students later this week to our Fedex summer school. I don't want, however, to take up too much time at the beginning of this extremely exciting conference. I'll reserve all the thanks for later on at the day, where I will, at the end of the conference and before the drinks. But now, just very briefly, I'm very grateful to James Pickavance. I'm very grateful to all the speakers and chairs, to Paula Hodges for delivering later on the keynote speech, and all the teams at King's who made this possible. The conference is going to be extremely interesting. I mean, it's a conference that, as last year, and there was a bit the idea, James's idea and the idea of everybody. This is again a collective effort. I mean, you have looked at the program. We have 29 law firms, barrister chambers, consultancies, expert consultancies, academic institutions coming together. This is not any one single person's idea. And what we intend to do with this conference, what we did last year, we are doing this year, is to take stock in a sense, but also to look at the future. I mean, it's not a secret, is it, that our industry is facing significant challenges. The pandemic, in a sense, has brought them forward or made them a little bit more evident in certain cases. But we were always going to face difficult years and perhaps decades. The geopolitical challenges in international projects, the need to upgrade the infrastructure, not only in emerging economies, but if I may say so, even in the so-called developed world, which is an urgent need. The climate change challenges. the challenges around digitalization and the way the industry is changing the ways it does things very quickly, and the impact that this is going to have on procurement, performance and execution of projects and dispute resolution. This and more will be discussed during the course of today. I am not taking up more of your time. Just I wish you an excellent conference, and I leave you in the capable hands of James Pickavance. Thank you very much, James, and thank you very much to all of you.
Thank you.